Welcome back. We're considering some of the prayer psalms of David. Today we want to consider Psalm 4, beginning at verse 1. To the chief musician with stringed instruments, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Selah. But know that Yahweh has set apart for himself him who is godly. Yahweh will hear when I call to him. Be angry and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in Yahweh. There are many who say, who will show us any good? Yahweh, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and wine increased. I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Yahweh, make me dwell in safety. David again cries out to Yahweh in this period of distress in his life. And he asks Yahweh for favor. There in end of verse 1, when it says, have mercy on me, the word is the word chanan, which is literally the word for favor. And he's asking Yahweh to show favor to him by hearing his prayer. Sometimes I almost feel like we treat God like this genie in the bottle, that we rub on it and God has to appear and he has to listen to us and he has to do what we ask him to do. That can't be further from the truth. God is God, and we are but creations, ones whom he has breathed the breath of life into. And though I am given the privilege of sonship and having this relationship with the God of the universe, whereby I know he hears me, yet it is an act of his grace. It is a part of his favor to me to hear me when I cry to him. I must not lose that understanding of who I am and who God is, and the privilege that I have of being able to come before his throne, not demanding, but pleading with he who is over all things and spoke them into being. David cries out to him, he says, hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. David has already proven to himself, sadly, that his own righteousness is, like Jeremiah says later, like a filthy rag. That there is nothing in and of itself that is worthy to attain glory in and of himself, but rather it is through the righteousness of Yahweh that he can even come before God's throne, because of his righteousness, because of his grace, because of his favor. David comes then in boldness. David comes in confidence, knowing that he can plead his cause before the God who loves him. And then he calls out to those who are opposed and says, how long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Those terms for worthlessness and falsehood really are terms that are used regarding the idols, the false gods that are in opposition to the one true God. That when people refuse to worship the one true God, they turn to worship other idols. It may be in our land and in Western thought that we say, oh, we don't follow after these gods, but whereas we do. May I challenge you that the porn industry and all the sex industries are really being offered unto Asherah and Baal, to these fertility gods and goddesses that all the way back from the biblical days. It hasn't changed. They've just changed their names, and coming into Western culture, now it's this scientific thing. And that the abortion industry is offering up infant sacrifices to Moloch and Chemosh, the same demon gods that were there in biblical days. Paul says to the Corinthians, behind every one of these false gods is a demon. How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Rather seek and follow after the one true God, Yahweh, in whom alone is salvation. But know that Yahweh has set apart for himself him who is, in the Hebrew, chesed. Chesed. It is the object. We talk about the word chesed, the faithful loving kindness of Yahweh. Chesed are those who are the recipients of his chesed. Yahweh has set apart for himself those who are the recipients of his chesed. And he will hear when we call to him. Have confidence today in the one true God. He who hears those who are the recipients of his chesed, those who are trusting in his righteousness alone, who have turned away from these worthless and false idols to love and to serve the one true God. Take time today to pray to that one true God, knowing he hears you, rejoicing in the relationship that he's allowed you to have, and have a blessed day.